For 6 years, I dreamed of being a digital nomad, and I'm currently doing it right now, and it's not what I expected. If you're a business owner and you're thinking of doing this, I want to show you the side of the story that I don't think many people are going to talk about. I want to tell you my side of the story, 5 reasons why, if you're currently building a business, why doing the laptop lifestyle, being a digital nomad, is actually not that good for your business. But I also don't want to be some grouchy person who tells you not to go do what you want to do. So at the end of the video, I'm going to tell you the one positive thing that I got out of this and what I would do differently the next time I'd be thinking about digital nomadism. So if you're a business owner and you think about doing this swap to being a digital nomad, the laptop lifestyle, I think you need to hear this story, especially if you're kind of borderline ADD like me. The disappointing thing is though, getting to this point of being a digital nomad, I had to eat shit for 6 years to get to this point where I realized, hey, maybe this isn't actually the best thing for me personally. So I've done every single side hustle I could imagine, like Facebook ads, I've been in Amazon, ebooks, crypto, what else? Chatbots. I said chatbots. Like I've done everything under the sun basically to get this point. And I started from like, what else did I do? Like $5 an hour email writing, copywriting. That's where it all sort of started for me. And I kept watching all these videos on YouTube being like, man, I wish I could go overseas and sort of do this. And I had all the numbers in my head. I thought it was possible. And you know, it wasn't until about like August 2022 where I started getting more regular income from clients. I was doing more retainer-based deals and the money was starting to pile in and like they didn't leave, like the clients stayed. I'm like, oh my God, like month 1, month 2, month 3, and the money was just like piling in my account. I'm like, wow, like I could go actually go do this. And this is where, you know, when I actually jumped in, and I started being a digital nomad in about April of 2023 is when I quickly realized that it's probably not the best fit for me personally. When I say jumped in, I mean I jumped in really hard. I joined a 12-month program where you bring your work and they organize everything else for the program, like flights, the accommodation, the workspace, all the annoying stuff. You just pay a flat monthly fee. So I've been paying about like $2,000 a month plus all their expenses, just to give you an idea on the budgeting. And this first thing that I realized in the new city is something might seem really fun at the beginning, but then it just gets really tiresome. And it's that everything is so new. Like everything is new. It's a new language, there's new food, there's a new routine, there's new stuff you have to get used to in terms of your gut, there's new laws, there's like just new everything, right? And at the beginning, it's really damn fun. Like I won't lie, like in the first few months of Vietnam, in Thailand, like everything was really damn new. And it was such a novel experience. Like I remember getting on the back of a motorbike for the first time as a taxi. I was terrified, but then it was one of my most favorite things to do. I absolutely loved doing that. Getting on the back of a, what was it called? A Grab for like a couple of bucks in Vietnam was one of my favorite memories when I first got started. I'm like, man, this is so cool. What else would it has? This is so cool. I can't wait for what else it has to offer. But then when you have to like pack your backpack and find a new gym and like go to the grocery store and learn the ins and outs and then like realize that they don't sell like vegetables at this store and you have to go like 20 minutes out to get like, it was such a frustration. Like I just wanted the simplicity and the comforts of not having to do new every single month. And this is something I just don't really see a lot of people talk about. And when everything's so new, it's really hard to stay focused. Like, wouldn't you agree that like everything new and exciting is a bit of a distraction if you want to go see like that new temple, that new plate of food? I totally agree as well. And if you've been in the same position as well, where you have a hard time focusing, because everything's so new and novel and you kind of got like borderline ADD, make sure you can give me the thumbs up so you can agree with me. And this second reason why I didn't really find digital nomadism that helpful is because I don't really like co-working spaces. Like I like my own space in solitude. And don't get me wrong, I would see myself as an extrovert. Every time I've taken a Myers-Briggs test, I am an ENFP, I believe. And I love meeting new people, I love chatting with them. But I swear to God, every single time I'm in a shared workspace, I always get less work is done. Like, I just can't help myself. I just want to talk to people. Like, yes, we're collaborating and stuff, but like I'm writing emails. Like, I need to stay focused. I can't just lose my train of thought every 20 or 30 minutes and have a conversation and then like get distracted with something else. Like, co-working spaces, if you think and work like me, don't work that well. I much prefer to work in solitude. And that's why I'm in my little apartment here by myself, when this morning I was in the workspace for about an hour. I'm like, that's it, I'm out of here. And the third reason why no one bloody talks about this, but when I was in Bali and I saw there was rubbish everywhere, there was like all these really big mansions set up, and then I spoke to some of the locals how little they were making. It honestly made me feel so guilty how much this like lifestyle, digital nomad lifestyle, is propped up on the back of locals, right? And everything gets pushed to the side for the sake of profit rather than actually like keeping the place nice, clean, community driven. And instead I got this really like sense of fake, inauthentic, everyone's just there to take the perfect Instagram photo, which kind of broke my heart a bit. Like, I was spending a few $1,000s to be like a nice place, everything is cheap, and like, but at what cost, right? I was seeing all these really beautiful rice paddies being taken up by construction workers. And I saw these locals really pissed off because some of the other foreigners were riding around topless, no helmet on, no shoes, and it says everywhere, don't do that. And I remember on the trip that I was there, they actually banned climbing mountains because someone was caught having sex naked, obviously naked, someone was caught having sex next to some sacred tree on a mountain, and they made a final decision, no foreigners are allowed to climb mountains. And this is what I mean, like, at what cost do we have like digital nomadism? Like, it's great for us, but for the people living there, they're getting the shit end of the deal. Like, there's only a very small percentage of people that actually benefit from this, and everyone else sort of has to sort of, you know, take the brunt, and it's not that beneficial for everyone. And that's something I don't think people really want to discuss. And personally, I think it's especially bad. So I've been to Southeast Asia and South America so far, and the number one place that I found is most guilty of, you know, propping itself on the back of its locals and then like leaving everything else in the dust, and like there's this huge wealth gap. It's in Bali. And if you thought Bali was the paradise you thought it was gonna be, look, it might be. This is just my personal opinion, and yeah, I wasn't a big fan because of those reasons. All right, so as a business owner as well, you probably don't want to be trying to spend a lot on like unnecessary stuff, right? Like, why would you keep a subscription that, you know, don't really get a lot of value out of? Okay, it's a terrible example, but it's the same thing here with travel. Like, why would you move somewhere all the time when it costs money to get on the plane, costs to relocate, costs money for a new gym, costs money to figure new places out? Like, it's not just the money cost, it's also the bandwidth cost, the energy cost, the time cost. There's a lot of cost involved with nomadism and like going from place to place to place, not just on like your focus and your like drive to like get stuff done, but bank account, time, money, energy. And what I found was that my content creation, like, you can go back to like from April until about July, there was minimal content. I had barely enough time to focus on my content, my stuff, when I was doing everything else, like travel and going out for dinners and going to new experiences. Personally, I found it extremely difficult, from not just the money cost, but the time and energy cost involved as well. So if you're serious about building a business, this is something I just don't hear often on these, like, how good digital nomadism is. And if you're someone like me who looks forward to in their week to really wholesome activities, maybe it's like dinner with your family, or like going to sport and playing, like I play volleyball or play basketball, or what else? Like just like hanging out with friends, okay? That is something that's taken away from you, and I think it's really taken for granted. And sure, like I've gone to networking events, I'm going to meetups, I'm with this group of people, but there's something really wholesome about all that I mentioned. Maybe it's even like you're away from your partner or whatever. That's sort of taken away from you, and these are the things that I've noticed kind of keep me productive throughout the week, because I've got something to look forward to And for me personally, like health, well-being, sport, they're super important to me. When they were taken away, I kind of got less productive in the process. And if you're trying to build a business and stuff, you want to maximize everything you can to be more productive, right? So just keep in mind when you go on the road, all these like wholesome activities, over time, they actually, when you remove them, I found that they actually take away your productivity. But I did promise you something to look forward to towards the end. Like if I was to do this all over again and I was trying to do digital nomad again for the first time, here's what I would do differently. So I would actually start off with finding a place where there's a lot of intention. Okay. So back in my story, when I was trying to figure out everything else, the thing that really triggered it for me for digital nomadism was that I went to Guatemala for the first time and I really wanted to learn Spanish. I just thought the language was really cool, and for whatever reason, I wanted to do that. 6 years later, I'm here in Lima, Peru. I was practicing Spanish beforehand. I was really crap when I got to Mexico, the place I was at beforehand. And now, after practicing every single day relentlessly, I'm able to have conversations with locals. I'm able to go enter in their world. I'm able to figure out all this cultural stuff that I would never have picked out of a book, a YouTube video. And for me personally, that's one of the most rewarding things ever. And it's more rewarding than like winning a massive paycheck from a client. To learn a language and then go do this was really wholesome for me. So if you're gonna go do digital nomadism, like go try it. I think it's worth it if you've got the means to do it. But if you can find a place to settle for a little bit longer than say a month, and if you really wanna say like learn the language, find a place where you think would be really cool and like go there and immerse yourself with the locals and the cultural stuff. I tell you, like all the stuff that you might hear other stuff from other people being like, it's lonely, it's expensive, but if you stay in a place for a while, if you connect with the locals, if you find a routine and like don't move around often, then you might actually enjoy digital nomadism more than me, who was like going place. And yeah, like learning a language in the process, I think is extremely wholesome, and immersing yourself and integrating it, and sure, it's not related to business, but I picture it as a hobby. And this has been my experience so far. And this is the part you have to like weigh up for yourself. Like what is really important for you for doing the digital nomad thing? Is it to save costs? Is it to go learn the language? Is it to go experience something different? Whatever it is, get super intentional about it, because I didn't do that before I left. And had I done that, I probably would have just found some place in South America, learned Spanish, maybe come back 4 or 5 months later, being fulfilled and being like, great, I got what I wanted out of this. But yeah, you live and you learn. You won't know you had the best decision at the time that you thought you did, and you made it. So whether you want to go do this or not, that's up to you. If you are a business owner and you actually looking to scale your business with email marketing specifically, this is the channel that we're doing it on. I just wanted to take this time to be more like off the cuff, non-scripted, like I normally would with the video, tell you the real story. And hey, if you liked my weird Aussie accent, if you enjoyed this video, give this video the thumbs up and consider subscribing if you are a business owner and like you do like these things I'm talking about, like health, like travel, like learning language, like history, all this really cool stuff. You're gonna vibe with me, and I know you're gonna vibe on this channel.